Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing a yoga workout targeting the glutes. So if you're ready, let's get started with some neck warm-ups. Now we're going to begin here, just slowly rotating the head side to side. And now looking up and down, feeling the extension in the back of the neck as you bring your chin to your chest, and then slowly raising your gaze to the sky. Keeping your chin lowered to your chest, we're going to do some half rotations, rolling the neck only halfway to one shoulder to feel the extension in the side of the neck. Always breathing deeply as we come side to side. Now softly bringing the head to the left side and the right arm extended. Taking a deep breath and moving to the other side, we want to be feeling the stretch in the neck as we pull the shoulder away from the ear. Now clasping the hands together, we're going to bring the chin back to the chest and pull down softly on the head. You'll be feeling this if you've slept funny the night before. Okay, now releasing, bringing your arms above your head to come into some small shoulder rolls, going back and then forward, keeping your hands on the legs. Taking a deep breath in, we're going to come into some wide shoulder rolls. So bringing it all the way back, keeping the arm extended, and now circling forward, really warming up that shoulder. Okay, now moving to the left side, going back and then forward. Okay, now releasing, taking one big deep breath in, we're going to come into our wrist warm-ups. So starting with going 5 times clockwise and 5 times anti-clockwise. Keeping our hands in fists, we're going to move them up and down, warming up the forearms. Extend both arms into the air and drop to the left side of the mat. And back up and to the right side of the mat, keeping the upper arm extended above your head. So we want to be feeling the waist warming up here and a pull in the obliques. Take a deep breath in as we extend both arms into the air and exhale as we fold forward. Now releasing, extending the arms above the head once more, taking a deep breath in. Now we're going to turn and lay down back onto our mats and come into a full body stretch. And taking a moment here to breathe. Open up the body, release any tension. And as we inhale, we're going to draw the right knee into the chest and begin with ankle rotations. So we're moving up and down and side to side and then round in circles. Now from here, we're going to extend the leg and bend it. This is going to warm up our knees and prevent any injury or damage. Now we're going to swing them from side to side nice and slowly. In the next few breaths, we're going to hug the right knee again, drop it to the left side of the mat over your body, keeping the opposite leg extended. And here we want to feel a stretch in the lumbar spine and through the obliques. And now we're going to come into some wide leg circles just to really open up those hips. Going clockwise 5 times. You can keep the leg slightly bent to make it a little bit easier. You can make the circles smaller. And now coming anti-clockwise. Gently resting the right leg back onto the mat. We're going to draw the left knee back into the chest. Same thing on the other side. We're going to do our ankle rotations, starting with up and down and then around in circles. And then extending the leg and bending it to warm up the knees. Moving side to side. Then we're going to hug the knee to the chest, extend your left arm out to the side, drop the left knee over your body to the mat, keeping the right leg extended and coming into our reclining spinal twist. Press the shoulder and the knee further down into the mat if you want a deeper stretch. Now releasing that leg, extending it to the ceiling and coming into our leg circles. So we're beginning with anti-clockwise and then we're going clockwise. Again, opening up those hips, breathing, place the hands under the hips. If you need further stabilization, draw both knees back into the chest, giving them a nice tight hug. Okay, now inhaling through the nose. As you exhale, lift the legs up nice and straight. You're going to open them up as wide as you can, and then you're going to reach up and cross the ankles, and then out and cross and out and cross. So this really activates those thighs. You really want to make sure that you're not using the momentum to come back up, but you're using your muscle strength and your core. And staying on your back, hug the knees into the chest and grab the soles of your feet or the ankles, or you can take the back of the legs. Open the feet apart so that they are above your knees and pull the knees towards the floor alongside your chest. You can sway side to side, keeping your head and shoulders relaxed into the mat. Now this part is optional. I like to hook my fingers onto my toes and extend my legs and bring them together. And from here, I like to go into a snail position. So this involves bringing both legs over the head. And here you feel a deep stretch in the back of the hamstrings. Taking a deep breath in, we're going to release the legs and place the feet onto the mat, coming straight into our glute bridge. Shimmy the shoulders down and try and push them away from your neck and from your ears. This is really going to open up the chest and engage those glutes. Trying to hold it here for as long as you can, taking deep breaths. Now releasing back to the mat. We're going to warm up the groin with some hip swings. So here we're going to bring one knee into the mat and the opposite knee out. And then we're going to alternate side to side. This is really going to open up the hip flexors and again prevent any injury with our glute workout today. In the next few breaths, we're going to slowly rise back up to a seated position. Now we're going to place the soles of the feet together, clasp the hands around the toes as we come into our butterfly flutters. Taking a deep inhale through the nose, we're going to, with our right arm, push against our right leg and turn to the left. There's a gentle spine rotation that also opens up the groin. Now repeating on the left side and looking towards our right. And from here, we're going to clasp the hands around the toes again, taking a deep breath in and folding forward. You can gently press the elbows into the thighs if you would like a deeper stretch in the groin. Release to come into our dragonfly position. So we're going to extend both legs out to both sides, raise both arms into the air and come down to the right side, feeling a stretch in the waist. Inhale and come down to the left side, feeling the stretch in the waist, and coming back down to the right side, leaning back if you want to get a bigger stretch, and then coming down to the center. Both arms into the air and fold forward over the right leg instead of leaning over. You should feel this more in the hamstring. Okay, now folding over the left, into the center, the right, left, center, and keep on doing this as we open up the whole body, going the opposite way. Okay, now releasing, we're going to cross the ankles and come onto all fours. Now extending the arms, pushing the hips back, we're going to come into a child's pose, keeping the knees as wide or as narrow as you feel comfortable. Next few breaths, we're going to release the hips and come into our cat-cow position. So first, we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, round the back, and as we inhale, we're going to drop the belly. So exhale, bring the chin to the chest, and inhale, lift the gaze and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Remaining on all fours, extend the left leg back and reach your right arm forward. Find your balance and take one breath here. As you exhale, bring the elbow and knee together. When you inhale, extend it back out and engage your abdominals and glutes. And moving on to our other side, raising the left arm and extending the right leg. Inhale, lengthen and reach. Exhale, draw it back in. Keeping the knees firmly placed onto the mat, we're going to walk the arms out, keeping the hips in the air, and come into our puppy pose. Take a deep breath in and push the shoulders down into the mat, slowly releasing and coming forward, straight into our upward dog. We're lifting the gaze and pushing the hands against the mat, feeling a nice stretch in the front of the body, a compression in the lower back. Now tucking the toes and bending the hips, we're going to come back into our downward dog. And while we're here, we're going to pedal the legs. Now from here, we're going to slowly walk the feet towards the hands and come into our half forward fold and then our full forward fold. And then here we're just going to clasp the elbows and dangle side to side. You can place the hands on the mat and dangle like so, feeling the stretch in the back of the hamstrings, making sure there's a micro bend in the knees. And then slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, we're going to rise, lifting the arms above the head, coming straight into our side body pull, feeling a pull in the waist, coming from side to side, inhaling, exhaling, coming all the way onto the tiptoes, that full body stretch, and now pushing the hands into the lower back. Inhale, and as we exhale, we're pushing forward, stretching the stomach. Okay, now coming to the top of our mats, we're going to raise the arms up above the head. And then reaching the arms forward, we're going to come into a low squat. Keeping the shoulders down and the gaze up, we're going to fold forward from the hips into a full forward fold, and then a half forward fold. And as we inhale and exhale, we're jumping back into a plank and then lowering into a chaturanga, and then back up into an upward dog position. Tuck the toes and then bend from the hips, extending the arms to find our downward dog. And then we're going to come into a three-legged dog, lifting the right leg into the air, bending it to the side to open up the whole side body, and dropping the leg all the way back straight into Wild Thing. And coming into a lunge. From here, we're going to either raise the arms or keep them on the hips, and we're going to come into a low lunge, into a high lunge and a low lunge. keeping that mind and muscle connection. Can you feel it in the glutes, in the quads? Releasing, placing the left arm on the back of the leg and the right arm above the head. We're coming into our reverse warrior. Now dropping the right elbow on the right knee and extending the left arm over the head. Keeping the front leg bent, the back leg extended into our side angle and lifting up into warrior 2. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, the head held high and looking ahead. Hinging forward from the hips, taking the arms from horizontal to vertical, we're going to come into our triangle, keeping the gaze lifted. Now pivoting the back foot, dropping the left arm to the mat and the right arm up, we're going to come into an inverted triangle. Here we're going to bend the front leg and lower down into a lunge. We also have the option of reaching for the back leg to get in an extra quad stretch, but this is optional. Now extending the right leg out in front to get in that hamstring stretch. We can rotate the foot side to side, taking a deep breath in to come in further, and then moving the hips forward to come into our pigeon pose and into a sleeping swan. Here we're going to raise the right leg straight into a three-legged dog, and then again you have the option of coming into a push-up with the leg extended, straight into upward dog and into downward dog. Now either walking the feet or jumping forward. We're coming into a full forward fold, all the way up back to standing. Now raising the arms, coming back into our sun salutation, into a squat, folding forward from the hips into a half forward fold, and then straight back into plank. And then doing a low push-up, straight into upward dog, tucking the toes, finding our downward dog, and then repeating the same on the left side. Raising the right leg into a three-legged dog, and then we're going to drop that right foot and come straight into wild thing. Driving the left foot in between the hands and coming straight into a high lunge. Raising the arms up above the head and coming into a low lunge. Back up again for our mini pulses. And now coming into our reverse warrior, placing the right hand on the back of the thigh and the left arm over your head, and then coming into our side angle. Again, feeling the stretch in the obliques. Into our warrior 2, keeping the head high, the shoulders relaxed, and then straightening that front leg to come into our triangle pose. Feeling the whole body open up, dropping the right hand and coming into our inverted triangle. And then slowly releasing that back leg to come into a low lunge. Again, if you would like to stretch the quads, you can reach for the back foot, or you can simply leave it on the mat. And now extending the front leg, taking a deep breath in to lower yourself forward. You can rotate the foot side to side, nice and slowly and gentle. And then coming forward into a sleeping swan. Again, you can lay down in this stretch, or you can stay on your elbows, or you don't have to come down at all. straight up into three-legged dog. Again, you can come into a push-up here or just release the leg back to the mat. And relax and come into a child's pose. You can rotate the wrists here, release any tension from them. Okay, bringing the knees apart, we're going to go into our frog pose, keeping the feet parallel with the knees. We're going to sit the hips back, and you should feel a very deep stretch in the hip flexors. Don't try and sit all the way back if you don't feel flexible enough. And then we're going to bring the toes together and come straight into a wide knee child's pose. Okay, coming back to seated position, extending both legs out in front, giving them a little shake, and then coming straight into our full forward fold. Now crossing the right leg over the left knee, we're going to come into our seated spinal twist, taking a deep breath in, feeling the stretch, keeping the shoulders down as we come to the other side. Thank you very much for joining me today, guys. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I can't wait to see you next time.